Well, hello there. It's Matthew Miller, the Mineral Kiwi, and we're doing a podcast. The lab meat is coming closer to, the lab crap is coming closer to the supermarkets. And yes, there it is from Bloomberg. Lab meat is getting closer to the supermarket shelves. In which I refer to lab crap. And let's see what this video will say. Pandemic expect to spark meat consumption to fall there, So meat consumption is set to fall in the lowest in 9 years. Why? The economic fallout from the pandemic, which is called a pandemic. Consumers are cutting down on cutting back on groceries, of course, or the rations and that they bring in. The restaurants shut down. Cutting out less to lower meat consumption. Of course, they want to get us to start eating. Discharge of animal products. And of course, they want to take away our meat, and we are going to go to this video from Frank Tavano, and let's go there.
To be fair,
we're going to skip over there, let's go here.
The 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, headed by the United Nations, who are basically the new slave world rulers, are attempting to take meat away from everyone under the guise of climate change.
You hear that, people? Under the guise of climate action. They've been using the climate to try to get us to stop eating meat. They've been doing that for decades, or even for years, or even decades. So, let's continue.
Western diets, primarily responsible for rapid deterioration of ecological and human well-being, encourage ever-increasing production and consumption of meat, one of the greatest sustainability threats. To mitigate, this policy recommends flexitarianism, or a substantial reduction of meat consumption, at the very least, to the healthy levels recommended by credible medical authorities, i.e., maximum of 500 grams per week.
Per week, you hear that, people? Per week. And of course, since Australia has a rather small population yet of the world's highest per capita of the ecological footprint, it is also one of the world's highest per capita of meat consumption, along with developed countries such as the USA, Luxembourg, and New Zealand. Here it is, New Zealand. That's the country I also live in, people. They want to take away the meat, people, and that's what it says here. They are taking away our meat, chickens first, and yet, well, it's not just chickens, all types of meat, and the meat they want us to be eating is lab crabs, and also the insect proteins and that. They want us to eat bugs. And how the meat and dairy alternatives are moving from niche to normal, the new normal, people. According from the World Economic Forum, and it says that you'll be eating much less meat, and of course, they doesn't want us eating meat at all. And switching to plant foods has a huge impact of carbon emissions, which is BS. It's all about taking away our rights, people. In the name of sustainability and stopping climate change. That's it. And of course, I ain't going to go to the video and say Singapore has become the first country to approve lab grown crap for sale. Also, I misread to say meat, but I call it crap because it is crap. And I'm about to go and hear what they're saying.
I read this yesterday and I was fascinated. Changing world of what's on your plate. The US-based company Eat Just has created the first lab-grown chicken to be approved for sale. Singapore's given it the nod. Now, the head of communications at Eat Just in San Francisco is Andrew Noyes, who's with us. Andrew, good morning to you.
Mike, good morning. Thanks so much for having us on.
Not at all. Is it chicken, or are you just calling it chicken?
It
Are you calling it chicken or it's just chicken?
is 100% chicken.
Well, you're just getting stem cell on a chicken, mate.
And it starts out as what to grow it? What do you start with?
Well, we start with cells instead of animals that are raised and slaughtered.
Yeah, cells people, they want to take the cells from the animal and trying to turn it into meat or something so they don't have to kill an animal.
And the way that it works is we start by sourcing a small amount of animal cells from a high-quality poultry or livestock. We feed those cells nutrients, including amino acids, carbohydrates, minerals, fats, and vitamins, the same type of nutrients that animals would need to grow, animal cells would need to grow and multiply. And then these nutrients grow these cells into meat. And the whole process takes place in a safe and controlled environment, much like a beer brewery.
How quickly does it grow?
Well, we can make a substantial amount of meat in a single production run. You're looking at weeks instead of months or years.
Yeah, because they want to like get us to eat it in weeks. They want to make it in weeks. And I know it takes a while to actually, when the animal is born, it will take a while for it to grow. It depends on what animal it is. For a cattle, it will like probably at least like 2 years. And probably a pig, that's probably only just months. Because you can keep feeding grass scraps and that. And probably chicken you can keep feeding scraps. But that will take months for them to grow as well, so things probably for sheep they'll probably be about less a year, but I probably don't know about sheep. Because I've never actually seen a probably sheep grow unless I saw like, yeah, I haven't really seen a sheep. Actually I saw a lamb grow or something. Or something, so let's...
Okay, so you can grow me, say, a chicken breast in what, a day, a week?
Well, it's not quite as complex as a breast at this stage. What we're growing right now is more of a minced product. So think of a chicken nugget, a sausage. You can form it into chicken breasts, but doesn't have the complexity quite yet of a that would have the bone and the muscle and the striations. But the industry is still quite young, and we're working.
But the bones are actually natural. Because when you try and like get rid of it, that means they're not natural. No, it's most times more easy, but it's not natural.
Working on those advancements.
If you can do it with chicken, can you do it with beef, pork, etc.?
Yeah, absolutely. And as a matter of fact, while our first product is cultured chicken, we are working on other types of meat, including beef. And we're utilizing cells from California pasture-raised cattle, as well as Wagyu beef from Japan.
Yeah, and of course. And yeah, of course, they're going to be talking about like, Ouroboros Steak, grow your own human meat. It's technically not. Oh boy, they want to tell us, oh, it's okay to eat your own meat, meat from your own body. Oh boy, good grief, that is gross. Which I'll get to that soon enough.
What do you need to do to get it across the line? You need to go to the FDA in America. Why is Singapore the first? What have they seen that the others haven't?
Well, Singapore is really unique in a number of senses. They've long been recognized for their business and technology and culinary leadership. The country is very committed to a more sustainable food system. And
Sustainable means they don't want agriculture. Well, of course, the island's small, the country is small, we won't have enough area. They had to like import meat or something.
they've been very open to innovation. It just made it the ideal place to launch. They've been supportive of R&D for alternative proteins in the plant-based sector, and now, of course, in the cultured meat sector. And the regulatory environment is supportive of food innovation in general. We're also working with regulators in other countries, including here in the U.S., but Singapore was the first, and we're very excited about it.
What can you put it on the plate for? Because chicken's a cheap meat to start with, of course.
Absolutely. Well, as we said, we are starting small. We're going to put it on the menu of a high-end restaurant in Singapore to start. But we've said,
You hear that, people? In a restaurant in Singapore.
that right from the start, the price will be on point with what you'd expect to pay for a premium chicken dish at a high-end restaurant. We still have quite a ways to go until we can bring it to grocery stores and retail, but we're getting there.
Have you tasted it?
I've tasted it many times. That's one of the perks of working at this company.
He probably hasn't even tasted it himself because he probably knows it's all crap.
Hand on heart, don't lie to me. Does it taste like chicken?
Unsurprisingly, yes. It tastes like chicken because it is chicken.
Like,
Well, it's fine chicken sour and you just grow it in a petri dish or some box or whatever in the petri dish or something.
it's like you literally blind taste, couldn't tell the difference.
Absolutely not.
Geez, we're on our way to something. Andrew, appreciate your time very much. Andrew Noyes, who is the Director of Communications out of Eat Just. They are growing chicken.
Yeah, they're not raising, they're growing their own chicken in a petri dish. And I'm going to go to the... Oh, I'm going to start from 31.
Makers of Grow Your Own Human Steaks say meal kit is not technically cannibalism. Now, it gets even more disturbing, but stick with me. Ouroboros Steak, and they took the term Ouroboros from the snake in a circle eating its own tail, is a grown-your-own human meal kit, which is technically not cannibalism. Now,
Wow.
just to get that out of the water, cannibalism is the act of consuming another individual of the same species as food.
You hear that, people? It is consuming a visual. And I actually happen to have an article open there as well. They want to tell us, oh, it's okay to eat own meat, it's not cannibalism. But that's far from the truth, and Diamond just broken it out from cannibalism. It's an act of consuming an individual of the same species as food. You hear that, people?
Cannibalism is a common ecological interaction in the animal kingdom and has been recorded in more than 1,500 species. Human cannibalism is well documented, both in ancient and recent times, albeit disgusting.
Yeah, it is disgusting.
Back to the human meat. Now, the makers of this... Now, luckily, let's get a few things off the table. It is not currently legal. Lab-grown meat has not yet been approved for human consumption, though some products could hit store shelves in the next few years.
Yeah.
This product...
Well, we got the meat from the chicken that's going to be available in restaurants out in Singapore. Just as they say, but there's a far from the Ouroboros restaurant, grow your own human steak. It's like eating yourself.
Nasty. And here's the Oro chef, according to him. Tell me what you eat, and I will tell you what you are. This has got to be a joke, but it's not.
Yes,
Let's break it down.
well.
A group of American scientists and designers have developed a concept for a grow-your-own steak kit using human cells and blood to question the ethics of the cultured meat industry.
Of your own blood. Good grief.
Ouroboros steak could be grown by the diner at home using their own cells, which are harvested from the inside of their cheek and fed a serum derived from expired donated blood.
Ugh.
The resulting
Yeah.
bite-sized pieces of meat, currently on display as prototypes at the
Ugh.
Beasley Design of the Year exhibition, are created entirely without causing harm to animals. The creators argued this cannot be said about the growing selection of cultured meat made from animal cells. In fact, this meat is made from you.
Yeah. You sure is. Yeah. Yeah. Get yourself on your get some self on your body and turn it into meat. Oh, good grief.
Absolutely delicious. Or disgusting, however you want to
Yeah.
look at it. Now take a look at some of these growth patterns. Would you fry that up? Put that in some bread with mayo? Cooking is all about people, Oro's chef says. Food is maybe the only universal thing that really has the power to bring everyone together. No matter what culture, everywhere around the world, people get together to eat.
Ooh.
Each other. I guess. That's
Yeah.
just nasty.
It is very nasty. That is indeed. And I do have an article open for that as well. Good grief. And of course they play all that up. Don't want to hear that one though. We're not there to watch that. Go away. Oh, good grief, people. That is, that's disgusting. That is absolutely disgusting. Would you eat that, people? I certainly will not. And no way they're going to try to get us to eat it. They're going to tell us, say, oh, we ain't going to tell you. We ain't going to label it as that. And that's what freaks me out.
Do it? Do you think they're going too far? I think the makers of Grow Your Own Human Steaks says it all.
Yes,
Can't
they
miss.
are going too far.
It's what's for dinner. And that's a boom.
Yeah, and that is a burn, alright. And yet the bees population is dying, yet which you can go and watch that. And I do encourage you to go and watch that as well. And yet people, I certainly will not want to eat that. It's just freaking disgusting, and I know a lot of people will buy it for seeing that as well. Oh. Ugh. And of course, I know getting yourself on an animal and that, but this is out of the ordinary. This is way out of the ordinary. A steak from our human cell. Oh, people, that is absolutely disgusting what all she's doing. Oh, and they really don't want us eating the real meat. They want us to be eating bugs, eating our own flesh as is created from our own cell. Ugh. People, this is the stuff that we do not want in New Zealand, and the globalists of course like to see it, and like to send it Ardern, they are pushing it. They want us to start eating meat. It's under the guys here under UN Agenda 21 to bring a new order to create a slave state. Yet a slave, yet totalitarian will, yet one world totalitarian government. And people, this is really scary, and that's what they're going to try to get us to eat. And people, we gotta say no to this. If they do get to the shelf, I will not buy it, and you should not buy it either. Because that is absolutely lab crap. And this is all I gotta say for now. This is the Manurial Kiwi signing off, over and out. See you on the next podcast. Bye bye.